You
Yep.
mentioned, the millions and millions of jobs that are going to be lost, and no jobs are going to be available, and the need for UBI. And yeah, I completely disagree with that point. As a friend, we can talk about this. I think it's worth double clicking
I'd
into.
love to, please.
Just because I
Absolutely.
think that history, we could say this time is different, but history shows that's not the case. So I think a couple things. Number one, every single time there's a new technological revolution or even a new piece of technology, the analysts always come out and tell us all these jobs will be lost. And there's truth to that. But what happens is that that doesn't happen in a vacuum. So more jobs are created every single time. And so I think number one, and what happens is we have these analysts, and you're an entrepreneur, so you'll get this. An analyst is an analyst. They're not an entrepreneur. They're not a risk taker. They're a bean counter. An entrepreneur, a builder, we see problems and we create solutions for that. When I see a mountain, I want to go climb the mountain. I don't know why. I just have this innate feeling that I should go climb that mountain. I don't know what it is. And so when I'm able to use AI for more efficiency gains, and all of a sudden I can free up 20% of my team's time, I don't go, well, I should just fire half my team. No, what I do is go, finally, I can go have them do all these other projects we couldn't get to. Now I can go launch all these new programs and products that I could never have thought of. And let me give you a real practical example of that. So this probably the single most at-risk skill right now from AI today, and certainly there's going to be disruption. Certainly jobs are going to come out as those new jobs are going to get replaced. And then what is the timing of that? And we don't know. History sort of gives us a guide. But probably the number one most at-risk job right now is coding. People are vibe coding now, right? People are vibe coding apps. Claude Code is building its own code for Claude Code. It's amazing, right? It's unbelievable. I've been using it to make some code, and I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm not a software engineer, right? But the number one job being hired for right now are for software engineers. And the reason why this is happening, I think it's called Jevons paradox, is what happens is as it lowers the barrier to entry, more people want to do it. So what do I mean by that? I now have 2 software products, 2 apps that I'm working on trying to roll out. By the way, anybody listen to this, if you want to work on this with me, send me a message. But I have 2 that I want to roll out that I think are going to be amazing. I think my audience will absolutely love them. And I never would have considered it 2 years ago because the barrier to entry was so high, it doesn't even make sense. But today it's accessible. So shoot, I'm going to go hire a couple people and we're going to go do this. So the number one job at risk, I'm going to do more of. So I just think it's like this entrepreneurial lens is different. I want to grow. I want to use the efficiency gain to grow, not to work less. And on the UBI side, I think the problem with the UBI is you've seen the pictures of like the state parks, and it says don't feed the animals because they'll become dependent on the food and they can't go forage for themselves or whatever, right? And so what happens is when we offset people's income, then they don't need to go forage for themselves. And the problem with an animal born in captivity, it can never be released to the wild because it just doesn't know how to hunt. But we're not animals, we're humans. And we can always go work if we're hungry. And I built a house a couple years ago down in Mexico. I spent a lot of time down there. They don't have welfare. And when I go out at Costco, there's guys helping me with my groceries in my car. And when I take a boat at the beach, there's guys trying to help you with the boat. And they're selling you waters. And people are working. And so I think like the UBI is this crutch that will keep people from working. But there's going to be more jobs. Yes, some people will have to learn new skills. So for example, everybody that works for me, I want them to use AI. So I tell them, AI is not going to replace your job. Someone using AI will replace your job. So if someone doesn't want to learn that, I mean, sure. If imagine if you were going to hire someone today in your office that wouldn't use a computer, you wouldn't hire someone that didn't use a computer, right? So anyway, that's my take on it. What do you think about that?
I love your optimism. I wish I fully agreed with you. In some respects, I do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we're so far down the road of indebtedness before we weren't. How does that factor into it? There aren't very many Mark Mosses. You are a maverick. You're an entrepreneur. You're a visionary. You've bought and sold businesses. You're on iHeartRadio. Everything about you screams entrepreneurial success. I think people like you are not a dime a dozen, right? I think you're kind of kind of a unicorn in that respect. And I mean that, like, not to kiss your butt, but that if it was so easy what you did, then there'd be a whole lot of people doing what you do. I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is to prepare for even an interview like this. And you're ahead of the curve, always have been. So I don't dismiss what you're saying. What I am saying is, if you listen to Ray Dalio saying 60% of the country has a literacy rate under the 6th grade,
that's a
when
problem.
you realize that it is a
That's
problem.
a problem.
And when it is, and I just wonder, again, I'm not trying to short sell anyone. I wonder if people growing up now have the same kind of work ethic that you and I had growing up in the 70s and 80s. And again, I'm not trying to put everyone into a basket. I just look at the problems that we have. Another thing, too, is the lack of unification in this country. Not everyone sees things the same way. You say you're in Mexico. I mean, go drive through Mexico. There are parts of Mexico where, it's third world, literally, and they're living in squalor. Now,
Same
still
in the US.
working. I understand that. I get it. The point of it is that I think you will see maximum efficiency for the very wealthy at the expense of jobs, and maybe that will change. I'll give you an example. My son, who works for me now, graduated from the Ross School of Business, one of the most prestigious business schools in the country. Cost me almost $400,000 to send him there. Came out and went to Manhattan to work for Price Waterhouse, getting paid $72,000 is all they gave him, starting salary, to analyze the balance sheet of a real estate investment trust. What do you need that for? When AI says, done. What do you need that entire group of young kids that was brought in to do accounting? Those kind of jobs, I think, will run into a wall. So there will be someone, to your point, who will use AI, but do you need a whole legion of new kids to do those things? I don't know. I just think that it's, and again, beware of the guy who says it's different this time. To me, AI seems far more disrupting than even the internet was. Now, maybe that seems silly to you, who's far more tech advanced than I am. But when everything is at your fingertips in AI, where people use ChatGPT and Claude now instead of Google, it just seems that this technology, where the actual software, the actual program is programming itself, it just seems as though it's rather disrupting. Now, again, I don't want to be the doom and gloomer. I would rather be optimistic. I truly would. And I hope you're right. Honest to God, I got 3 kids, 2 of which are still in college. And I hope they have the future that you're talking about. But if you come out of college right now and don't have any understanding of AI, you took some sort of a liberal arts degree, where are you going? What are you going to do? I don't know.
I'm calling this the
think
great
it's somewhere in
paradox.
between,
I'm calling
Mark.
this the great paradox of our time, which is for college grads. I think it's 30% of college grads under 30 are unable to find a job in their major or whatever. So the paradox of our time is that it's never been harder for people to get ahead than it is today. But at the same time, it's never been easier to make money. But the problem is the people who went through the education system and their teachers for 12 years plus then 4 or 5 years of continuing education have told them what to do. Sit here when the bell rings, move to here, do this task, turn it in this way, format it this way. So when they come out, they're looking for people to tell them what to do. And now you have 22-year-old kids that are just learning AI and learn how to use Claude Code in a week, and then they're getting $4,000 or $5,000 jobs, contract jobs to set up, AI agents and workflows.
Brother, I hope you're right,
But
man. I truly
do want to say what you said with Ray Dalio and the education gap that we have and people's work ethic today. That's a whole separate issue, and that's a big problem.